Speaking of doubters, around what AC Milan can do now against Feyenoord, and specifically with Christian Pulisic, he had to deal with an exit from the Champions League, and with reports from Italian newspaper La Repubblica claiming, quote, extreme tension between Pulisic and head coach Sergio Conceição. The report also mentions Pulisic had asked to leave the club should Conceição stay for next season. Now, both AC Milan and Pulisic put out a statement refuting the rumors, saying the following. I mean, having to come out and deal with that. This is what Pulisic said. I have never argued with the coach and I have never asked to leave. I am very happy at Milan and I want to continue wearing this shirt. Reading these lies is unacceptable, but let's all continue to remain united and fight together on the pitch for the club and for our fans. With more, let's go to our Gab Marcotti.
I mean, this stems from an article that appeared this morning. Obviously, Conceição is getting a lot of criticism in Italy, and people are saying about how he's going to go unless he gets Milan in the top four. And as part of it, in the story, there was a claim that there was a confrontation afterwards in the dressing room. Angry words were exchanged between Conceição on the one hand and Youssouf Fofana, who came on as a sub in that game, and Pulisic on one side, Conceição on the other. Now, I think anybody who has even a passing knowledge of Pulisic would find it very strange that he's the guy who would go flip out and have an angry confrontation and get in his coach's face. So it didn't really smell right. I did some reporting on it, and based on my sourcing, they said nope, this actually never happened. In terms of him leaving in the summer, I think I did another story on this as well, how, bringing in João Felix is a little bit of a slap on the face. Not an obvious need for Milan, a guy who plays the same position, number 10, where Pulisic had been doing so well. And it's like, okay, Christian, you move back to the right wing where you played last season. And, even though the left wing is your best position, but we've got Rafael there. And this issue of kind of like, he's really accommodating, and do players who are really accommodating and professional and just kind of do what they're told, while maybe managers like them, are they necessarily helping themselves? When you're talking about, a player who leads Milan in goal contributions this year. But in terms of Pulisic wanting to leave, as far as I know, he's very happy in Milan. Now, obviously, if Conceição says, oh no, I need to drop him permanently to make room for João Felix or whatever, and he's not getting playing time, then obviously that might change. But right now, the way things are going at Milan, it seems more likely that it's Conceição who's packing his bags in the summer.
At the end of the day, it really doesn't look great. But Shaq, something, nothing, or everything, the fact that Pulisic and AC Milan put out this statement.
Well, first of all, as an incident, I think it's nothing. I'm with Gab fully on this. Nothing about this in terms of Christian Pulisic's own personality rings true to this. Gab, of course, followed up with his sources within Milan and specifically within AC Milan. And again, they are in total denial. So nothing about this rings true to me. But there's smoke for some reason. And if I'm trying to read those smoke signals, I think it's more likely that Conceição, given the pressure that he's already under, especially on the back of this exit, and we speculated about this last week after that really disappointing first leg performance, but he's probably feeling the heat. And if it's anything, and you want to turn up that heat on Conceição in terms of getting him out the door next season, one of the easiest ways is to create or suggest that there's a rift between the manager and Milan's leading goal and assist contributor. So unless that is the angle from deep within the halls of AC Milan, I don't see any value to this. I don't think there's much truth. But other than that, I don't think there's any value otherwise.
I saw the report online today, and the first thing I thought to myself is, this is so out of character for Christian Pulisic. I can't buy this. I tweeted that. I was like, I can buy Sergio Conceição being angry and having incidents with players because that's been who Sergio Conceição has been from Porto, from his whatever. That's who he is. Christian Pulisic is not this type of player, not this type of person to demand it's either he or I. He goes or I go. That's not Christian Pulisic at all. Now, it's something because AC Milan and Christian Pulisic felt the need to address it. This sort of thing happens in the biggest clubs all around the world all the time. All the time. At Real Madrid, Benzema and Vinicius Jr. don't get along. They don't like each other. At Barcelona, Hansi Flick wants to leave because he doesn't have money to fulfill his team. They don't ever come out and say these are lies. They don't ever come out and put out a statement for whatever reason. AC Milan and Christian Pulisic felt it was necessary. I agree with Shaq here. This screams, I don't know if it's agent politic. I don't know if it's a struggle or a tug of war with power in the club, trying to get Sergio Conceição out, trying to form some sort of instability to get your man in. I don't know if that's the case, but for Milan to feel the need to put this out on their channels speaks to how they feel threatened by it. I don't for 1 second buy this with Christian Pulisic, not at all. But the fact that they have to address it and feel the need to address it, something's there. Something is there.
That's the smoke you were talking about.
Yeah, and the big question is what? And again, we had Gab on last week to talk about the João Felix arrival and what that meant for Christian Pulisic. Again, I think nothing because of how important Christian Pulisic has been to AC Milan. And while you could get into Gab's point, João Felix comes and plays the position that Pulisic is currently playing, that Rafael Leao already occupies the left-hand side, which Christian Pulisic may argue is his best position. Wherever you put Christian Pulisic, he has delivered. I've already mentioned his record for AC Milan this season. And in football, while agents can do their business and players come and players go, inevitably, it's the performances that matter. And the one thing you cannot question about Christian Pulisic is his performance and his contributions to AC Milan.
And Gab had a great article, and I encourage everybody to go out and read it. He spoke about it briefly, but in there he speaks about how Christian Pulisic was productive under Pioli, productive under Paulo Fonseca, productive under Sergio Conceição, and in different positions. When Rafael Leao wasn't there, his best position, left winger, he was productive there. When he was shipped to the right, he was productive in the right. With Paulo Fonseca, when he says we're going to change the formation and play with an attacking 10, play with a 10, and Christian Pulisic is that 10, he proved his worth. He was good there as well. Then Gab mentions that maybe his ability to go in different spots and not make a fuss of it is hurting him here. I think if anything, Sergio Conceição values that. I want to believe he came out because the reports of fitness being an issue, that he was carrying a knock, and we know Christian Pulisic's history. I want to believe that's the reason he came out. I don't want to fall into this João Felix will eat up his territory, eat up his time, because for Sergio Conceição, Christian Pulisic has been important. The game in question, where supposedly they had an altercation, who scored that game? Christian Pulisic for a 10-man AC Milan. The Super Cup, the Italian Super Cup, the semifinal, who was the catalyst in that game against Juventus? It was Christian Pulisic. The final comeback against Inter, who was the catalyst? It was Christian Pulisic. I think Sergio Conceição values Christian Pulisic. I think Christian Pulisic means what he says about wanting to wear this jersey. It's the first time I've seen Christian Pulisic really feel like he has a home, and he's proving his worth. It's almost 50 goal contributions since he's come over from Chelsea. He's the leading assist man in Serie A. He's been the leading assist man since he got into Serie A. I think this is all smoke, but I repeat, the fact that Milan and Christian Pulisic felt the need to put this on their social media platform to tell the world this is false, that leaves me a bit uneasy.
The other thing, the one thing you can say about Christian Pulisic, or you can certainly credit him for, is his consistency throughout.
Yes.
Particularly in Milan shirt. The one thing you cannot say about João Felix is that he's been consistent.
Anyway.
I think time inevitably will be Christian Pulisic's best friend here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Regardless.
And it bears the question of what's the real issue here and what's going to happen the next transfer window that he has, because it's crazy that he's doing so well and he's adapting to different coaches and different styles and he's still being questioned at this moment.